kid? Oh yeah. Do you remember the kid that was always moving around the classroom and never really paid attention to the professor? Well,
Wow.
if you saw him, you're not alone. Thanks. You probably had ADHD. Now, what is ADHD? ADHD stands for Attention Deficit and Hyperactivity Disorder. It's a disorder of the mind, and it mainly affects children, but it affects adults too. Now, the reason why I say this is because they both have it. If you're a kid, you're gonna have it when you die, pretty much. But when you're a kid, you struggle more with it because you're not used to it and you don't understand what's so hard about understanding it and stuff like that. Okay, so ADHD can give us problems pretty much anywhere, but the main places where we get them is at school, at home, and probably the most important one, in self-development. As I already told you, there's two parts of ADHD, which is the lack of attention, and then there's the hyperactivity. The attention, it's basically you just keep switching like objectives. You think of something, and when you're thinking of that, you just find something more interesting or more important at the moment, and that just keeps on happening all the time. So when someone's speaking, when they finish a sentence, you think of something else that they said, probably just a word, and then you make different sentences, and then you think about feeding your dog or paying your bills. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Not really. Hyperactivity, that was me when I was a kid. Where's that? It's a chronic condition in which the person tends to do excessive movements. Like, they just keep moving around a lot, punching stuff, tapping, making sounds, like making music, stuff like that. This happens because there's connections in the brain that are not being made properly. Yeah, that's the point. And then development. Having it as a kid makes it tricky to like learn new stuff, and then to like develop the stuff that you're learning, to like learn. For example, when I started learning piano, when I was like halfway through, I started learning guitar, and then when I was like halfway through, I started learning ukulele, and then I was halfway through, and then I started learning trumpet, I think it was next. And then I never really got to the end of it because I just kept finding more instruments. I'm Derek Cannis, and I have ADHD. Treatment, it can be treated, but it cannot be cured. Most people don't really like the treatment because it's something you're gonna have to live with. Plus, the treatment's pretty expensive, and I don't have medical care or whatever. It gets pretty expensive, and then you have to pay for the treatment, and then you have to pay for the insurance, which is like mandatory. So people just try to learn to live with it and to get like shortcuts around it, to not have to like how can I say this? Yeah, that's great. To not have to to struggle with it like they would when they were a kid. Yeah, that's it.